55 years old are needed for roles as the eyes and guardians. 9 women between 18 and 60 years old are needed for handmaids, aunts, and Jezebel servers. None of the roles require singing. Auditions will be held for Monday, February 2nd at 7 p.m. The show kicks off March 1st. We both qualify in that age category, Rich. Maybe we should go audition.
I don't sing too well.
You don't need to. You just got to hang out, man. You don't want to be in the play. Yeah, you're quite the showman.
I can do that. I can stand there.
You can do the weather well, too.
All right, let me do that right now. Real quickly, it's soupy out there with clouds and numbers in the 30s. We're going to see readings fall off a little later on tonight, but this mild stretch continues. A full check tonight at 10.
Rich Luterman in The Handmaid's Tale. It's a thing. Thanks for joining us for the news at 6. TMZ is next. We'll see you back here at 10, The Edge at 11, and The Pulse at 11:30. Thank you. Why not, right?
Very kind.
I'm sorry. Must be time for the Sports Office. Welcome, everybody. Woody Woodruff here on a Wednesday night. And I have to say that this episode of the Sports Office is brought to you by the Michigan Army National Guard. Learn more at nationalguard.com/MI. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Sports Office. And in between my nap, there is plenty to talk about, plenty to get to. Let me introduce Rich Luterman here with us tonight.
The
Fox 2
captain.
Weather Authority. And James Paxson, Fox 2 sports producer, Cat 5. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's get into what we're going to talk about to start the show, and that is Michigan Hoop. Thank you, James. Michigan Hoop. Currently, the team is undefeated right now, but I will say there was a scare last night, and it came at the hands of Rich Luterman's Penn State Nittany Lions. James, talk to me about what you saw last night before I get into this guy, and he waxed poetically about his Nittany Lions.
It was a little too close.
A lot too close.
For Michigan fans, but I'm one of those old school people where I think you got to have games like that to be good. You know, you need to have a game where it's a 2-point game or a 1-point game late, and then you're like, boys, we got to figure this one out. So I was really impressed that they went away with that game. Their defense looked really good at the end. I think you and we've been raving. This whole Michigan team has a bunch of guys, but Yaxel Lendeborg is really good. And his defense late was really good. He was on Dillion for the last couple plays.
It was something that was sorely needed for Dusty May's squad. But let me go over here to Rich Luderman, who's not going to get into the X's and O's, but more of the, how about your boys last night?
I say blue, you say white. Blue, white, blue, white. I say team, you say fight. Team, fight, team, fight. I say go, you say go. You know what? You said it, James. All of these teams are going to face a tough game.
Right.
And
Well,
even
that's the Big Ten.
Even
The
the
Big Ten is hard.
The best of the teams are going to lose one here and there. It's going to happen. So I guess you'd rather they have a very close game and win versus, lose to a Minnesota team or a Purdue team. You know what I mean? So it was a heck of a ending to that game.
Right.
Very exciting.
You know what? Before we get into any more, let me go over here with Tommy, okay? Tom, you're running things in the Zoom room tonight. I know that you'll probably have 50 million people in here, so when you get somebody, give me a call, okay? All right, buddy, let's get back into it. Go ahead, James.
Thank you, Woody. I really want to talk about the end of that game because for those who saw it or didn't see it, 2-point game, Penn State had the last second shot, and Dillion just misses it. Now, I assume most coaches would be like, here's what we did well, here's what we didn't do well. But I got to tell you, Woody, I was really impressed with what Dusty May said. I want to play this clip that we played in the newscast today. Dusty May really impressed me with what he said. Go ahead, Tom.
I want to tip the cap. A lot of times coaches get up here in a game like this and talk about what they didn't do. Penn State was more physical than us. Their game plan was better than ours. They beat us to every 50-50 ball. And it came down to two teams really battling, and unfortunately the last shot was off. And as DeLeon had made big shot after big shot, luckily to get out of here with, much like another league game, we're very fortunate to get out of here finding a way to win. And we have veteran guys, and so we had a look that we were going to figure out a way to win.
Go ahead, James.
That says a lot to me. What that says to me is, one, that's a coach who knows how hard the Big Ten is. And I think a lot of coaches come to the Big Ten, Michigan State, Penn State, Iowa, whether it's basketball or football, and they just think it's another conference. It's arguably the hardest conference in college sports.
I agree, because there's like 800 teams in the conference.
Well, yes. I mean, the Big Ten,
it's not the Big Ten anymore. It's like the Big 25. But you are correct.
And he knows that he got a little bit lucky last night, which means, even though his team's undefeated, one of the best in the country, that's a coach who knows, all right, we got to get back to work. And I really respect when a coach does that.
I was going to say, what does it add to maybe his lore, his mystique, knowing that he can talk plainly about his team, good or bad, and still have the point come across and him not lose any face with it? I mean, that's the key.
Don't you see a lot of coaches almost afraid to
Right,
be that vulnerable?
exactly.
And that's why I've always respected Dusty May. I think he's a really smart guy. He's really good in the tournament, and he gets the best out of his players. And Michigan got a really good hire where you're 14-0, and that guy right there is like, we're going to get even better.
Yeah.
That's I was really impressed by that.
I love it. And if it wasn't for Nebraska reeling off 18 straight wins going even back to last year, we would be talking about how Michigan is the hottest team in the country and all that other kind of stuff. But as far as we are concerned locally here, they are still the hottest team in this area right now, and I'm loving it.
Big Ten basketball. It could be, you could see two Big Ten teams in the Final Four this year. That's how good it is.
I think
crazy.
Michigan's really good.
Yeah.
Michigan State's very good. They had a really impressive win the other night. And when Cohen Carr is hot, that team can win a bunch of games. Then you go to Purdue, and then here's one that maybe will shock you both. On that broadcast for Nebraska-Michigan State, they said they've never won a tournament game. Nebraska is 0-8 in tournament games.
Wow.
That is hard to believe with the storied history they have there at Nebraska. It's usually for football, but...
I was just shocked that Nebraska had never won a March Madness game. So they could beat that this year. The Big Ten is really hard.
You mentioned you could see two Big Ten teams in the tournament playing each other. Michigan State. Michigan State right now, Jeremy Fears, you mentioned Cohen Carr.
I think
there's a lot of positives with that team, even though they may not be as flashy or as, hyped as Michigan is right now.
They're right there. They're
close.
We know what Tom Izzo brings. And now we're finding out what Dusty May brings.
Yeah.
And I'm really liking what we're seeing in Ann Arbor. It's solid. All right, guys, let's move on to our next topic, okay? And for me, this is one that has special significance because it's one I don't like. and it is the current transfer portal in the NCAA. We are seeing, I believe at last count, James, 3,350 college players currently in the transfer
Well,
portal.
hold on. Football. That's just
That's
football.
just football. Exactly.
That is just
That's
football.
just football. And, that and the NIL and all that money, it's just way too much, way too soon. Rich, it seems like it's a Pandora's box that is opened, and there's no way we're going to jam all this back in.
You know, Woody, you and I, we're older than James.
A little bit.
And you and I, we
Okay.
remember, when all of this, it was just football,
Right.
Now, money's always been a part of it, of course, but like at Penn State when they were independent back in the day, and Syracuse and Miami, these were
Miami,
independent
independent,
teams, and there was an excitement then that has changed, it's still very exciting. We got, 2 big games coming up in college football, but the landscape has changed huge. I don't know what to do about it. I don't think there's anything to do about it.
There isn't anything you can do about it.
There
because
needs to be some regulations.
Well-
I can't give you an exact answer. I'm not going to be like, I have the perfect solution, but you can't let it be this much of a free-for-all. There's quarterbacks transferring to other schools who will get paid more than the Detroit Lions first-round
exactly,
pick.
Crazy.
Exactly, and that is crazy. Rich,
That's true.
I think the thing that you were trying to touch on that maybe you didn't get to was the fact that there is no more amateurism. There is no more student-athlete kind of stuff. Those used to be the guardrails that we had back when you and I were in college, but now it's like there are no guardrails. You can drive right off the side of the cliff and, pull the parachute, jump into another situation, and get paid. It's crazy. Now, hold on. Before you even get into it, let's think about maybe some of the solutions to this. Okay, one, James, I think you would agree, you got to set stronger limits.
Yes.
Maybe the transfer portal, instead of, opening up after all this is done, maybe it opens up beforehand. Where, it's not this big deal where, the bowl games are coming up and this and that, and then the portal. Maybe open the portal first. Let guys move around and then play your games.
Well,
What do you
that's
think?
my biggest problem is the calendar is messed up.
Yeah.
Your Miami Hurricanes are playing Ole Miss tomorrow.
Yes.
Do you know that Miami has 8 guys in the transfer portal?
Yeah.
So the playoffs in the championship game, not just the bowl games anymore, the college football playoffs don't mean anything when these kids think they don't have a spot next year, or they can get a better paycheck somewhere, or they can go, hey, I'll go play for Lane at LSU, I'll go play for Kyle Whittingham at Michigan. The season isn't over. You're in the semifinals for maybe your first national championship ever if you're some of these schools, or your first national championship in 25 years.
I know.
It means nothing. So you have to change the calendar.
Well, you know what? Part of changing the calendar might be taking all of these, bowl games and stuff like that and start them immediately after the season ends in December, right? You could play, college football on Saturdays in December, no matter what the NFL does with their schedule, right?
But would they, though? Would they?
Look, you know what? If you want to maybe get it back under control, you do that because then you're playing your national championship game on January 1st.
That was old school. That was the way it used to be.
Exactly. And then all the transfers would be done and all that kind of stuff, and then you could just go with that.
Something I want to say.
No, go, Rich.
There's some great football coming up. I mean, we got the 2 college games coming up.
Yes.
We got Wild Card Weekend coming up.
Yes.
I mean, this is like... This
You're gonna explode.
This is a tsunami of great football, and hopefully there's some good matches. Sometimes they don't turn out to be great games.
Are you talking about the NFL?
All of them.
Oh, yeah.
College, the Wild Card Weekend. I mean, it's an exciting time for a sports fan.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Let's be honest. It doesn't matter who these Final Four college teams are. I mean, Miami, Ole Miss, Oregon, Indiana. It's Canes all day for me. So, I mean, that's where I'm looking.
I'm glad Rich just said something. It is Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah.
What did you think about Oregon coach Dan Lanning saying that the NFL is taking too much of the Saturdays, so that's why the schedule is the way it is, why you're playing a semifinal game tomorrow on Thursday, and Indiana, Oregon's playing on Friday night.
Instead of Saturday.
Correct.
Exactly.
Because there were already games being played on Saturdays in the NFL. That great Bears-Packers game that was in the third to last week, Saturday night.
But we all know the reason behind it, don't we? Money.
I understand it, but do you think he has a point that the NFL has overstepped their boundary?
I think he does have a point because, as we've seen, the NFL likes to think of itself as the king, right? I mean they call the ball for their sport, and it seems everybody else falls in line. They don't want to step on the NFL's toes. But maybe it's time to rethink some of that. You know what else it's time for? Got to take a quick break, all right? Got to squeeze one in right here. We will be right back with more of the Sports Office after this. Welcome back to the Sports Office. Let's go NFL. Rich, you think there's a team that's playing now that can actually get this thing done and win the Super Bowl?
You know, you look at a lot of teams. Like Houston looks tough, but they got to go to Pittsburgh and play Monday night. That's a tough game. Buffalo. I mean, does anyone really want to go and play, Josh Allen? I mean,
what about Drake May in New England?
All of these teams playing this weekend have a danger about them, and it'll be exciting. I mean, we're all just. And Fox has two games. Fox has a 4:30 game Saturday. Fox has a 4:30 game Sunday. I can't wait. I mean, it's one of the best weekends.
James, what are you looking at?
I think I will agree with Rich that over the 1 seeds who are Seattle and Denver, I think there are a couple teams this weekend who have a good shot to win it all. Houston Texans, I think that defense is really good. I'm not counting out the Rams. They've looked a little off in the last 3-4 weeks, but I think the Rams could do it. And I'll give you one more, Woody, but I just hate to say it, the Chicago Bears.
Oh, mama.
You know what?
Oh, mama.
Now, James just uttered the words that I was going to say for my next question, which is, what team would you not be surprised to see get an early exit? And for me, that might be the Chicago Bears.
Against the Packers?
Dude.
The Packers are decimated.
I am saying strange things happen in the playoffs.
That's true.
We have seen it. And it would not surprise me if
Caleb really pulls a Caleb game.
If all of a sudden we saw this with the Lions, right? It went into Washington. We thought, they got this in the bag. No, they don't.
So. Is anyone talking about Jacksonville?
That's who I was going to say. Jaguars are done.
There's the next one.
Buffalo's going to go to Jacksonville.
Could they be the first one out, or might they take the next step, Rich?
We're all going to be watching. That's for sure.
That is for sure. I mean, because Trevor Lawrence is finally getting into, maybe his comfort zone. Did you hear that sound? Sounded like a bell. That means we've got somebody in the Zoom room. Talk to me, Tommy. Who's coming in? Woo! Oh, it's Papa Dot. What up, Papa Dot? How you doing, my man?
Papa Dot.
He's got to
Oh, it's crazy that a veteran of the show like Papa Dot would make that rookie mistake. My man, how are you? Hey, you know what? We were talking earlier about Michigan basketball and the transfer portal. Let me get your feeling on the transfer portal, because right now there's 3,300 college football players in it. What's going on with that?
See, that's I like it the old school way. It gives you time to check out the player more. If they keep bouncing back and forth and end up in the NFL, you still don't know what they're capable of.
I would agree with that. Yeah, because one of those guys might be Aiden Childs right now. He started at Oregon State, then went to Michigan State. Now he's transferred to Northwestern. I mean, what's the loyalty? Where's the loyalty?
Right. You're absolutely right. Ain't none.
So
it's all about money now.
What are you looking for this weekend with the NFL, Papa Dot?
I want the Bears to be out of there.
Me too. I want them out.
I told you they might.
I want them out. I just think they'll win, man.
And I actually, crazy as it is, I'm rooting for Stafford.
It's not crazy.
No, it's not
I think
crazy.
it's okay to root for Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, for a long time this season, people were looking at him as the league MVP, and they could still be looking at him that way. So yeah, Stafford is probably a good bet, Papa Dot. It's pretty good. Let's see if he can fulfill that, and maybe the Rams can continue to move on while we're all sitting at home watching them. That's the one thing that we don't like right now, sitting at home. Papa Dot, I'm going to leave it right there. Thanks a lot for coming in.
Thanks, Papa Dot.
And hanging out with us on the Sports Office. My man, Papa Dot. Tommy, keep an eye on that. Yes, James.
Woody, do you still think there's some kind of weird vibe when you talk to Lions fans and people in Detroit and say, I'm pulling for Stafford? Do you still think there's some people who think that's wrong?
At this point, I have to think that most people have moved on from that.
Yeah.
This situation reminds me of how it was like when Justin Verlander went to the Giants. And, everybody wanted to see him, and it was glad that, he got a win and all that kind of stuff. And I think it was true with Stafford when he, first came back and all that stuff, and they won the Super Bowl. But now he's just another quarterback in the league. I mean, he used to play here, big deal. I mean, he's not thinking about us. We shouldn't be thinking about him at all.
I would think so, but I think there's still a good amount of the fan base who just doesn't want to see him succeed.
Well,
I mean, I want to see him win. I was never going to be one of those Detroit Rams freaks wearing one of those T-shirts.
Yeah, but
that ain't me.
But on the flip side, there's always those people who want to see it all come down for the guy. Who want to see him crash and burn and do it like that. So we'll see what happens with the NFL. We'll see what happens with the Lions and what they're going to do right now. It may be a little too early to talk about their future. But the thing that is coming up and is coming around the corner is spring training. I mean, it's less than maybe just over a month away
incredible?
before pitchers and catchers report in Lakeland.
But the fact that we're even talking about spring training means that spring is out there. I mean, here we are, first week of January. 8 weeks from now, most of winter will be behind us. And it'll be March, and, we're going to be thinking about spring stuff and baseball.
See, why do you think we bring the weather guy in here? Because he knows what's going on as far as the weather goes.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
What's the weather going to be like for opening day?
Woo! Opening day, sunny.
Still a little too early.
Sunny and 65. Sunny and 65.
That's great.
I love that.
Although the team is making moves as they are trying to get to the season today. I think the deal was Justin Henry Malloy to Tampa Bay for some cash considerations. James, what does that mean in the scheme of things? To me, it means nothing.
You say they're making moves. They're not doing anything. Okay.
Technically, it is a move.
Okay.
And that's where I'm leaving it, just at the technical level.
If you walk up a stair and then walk back down, you were moving.
Exactly.
But you have gone absolutely nowhere in life. Okay? Signing minor league pitchers who have been minor league pitchers since I was in high school is not a move.
Yes.
Signing Kenley Jansen, who is 37 years old, just because he may get the save record this year, is not a move. Not getting a single bat in the offseason when your team couldn't hit in the playoffs is not a move.
Yes.
So they aren't making moves.
But they still want to keep Tarek Skubal. What they
Does he
gonna
have
do?
a contract?
They got to put.
Does he have a contract?
They got to put people around him, don't they?
Does he have a contract? Are they going all in?
I
have
don't know.
they traded him?
We're talking about baseball.
They have said
we
nothing.
I love
broke
it.
this down last week. You and me on our Friday resolution show. We
That's
said
true. We did
there's
say-
4 things they can do with
Yeah,
Scooble,
yeah, yeah.
and here's the one we think they're gonna do is nothing.
Nothing.
And that's not a move. That's not a strategy.
You're right.
That's not anything. You want to trade him? Trade him. You want to sign him? Sign him. You want to go all in? Go all in. So far, you've stayed pat, and the team's going to do absolutely nothing. It's probably going to be worse.
Wow.
So that's
He's
not a
fired
move.
up. I
Don't
love
tell
it.
me
He's
they're making
fired.
moves when you send Justin Henry Malloy to Tampa Bay for like $200.
Oh, you see
Wow.
that? That's why we call him Category 5. My
Man.
man, wow. Woo! Yes, James.
He sounds like Mr. T, you
know
know,
what?
I pity the fool.
But here's the thing. He's absolutely right. He is absolutely right. Because what have we seen from this team in the past when they've had opportunity to make a move and improve and do something at a deadline or something like
Oh, I
that?
know what they did. I know what they do. Nothing.
Nothing. They do absolutely nothing.
Every
So,
GM in this city's favorite move is nothing.
I've got to
Every single GM in this city loves their own guys. Love guys who have been with the team since they were
Yeah,
bad.
exactly.
I got news for you. Do you know what happens when
He's
you
fired
sign
up.
someone and then they play for you and you give them money to play for you? They become your guys.
Yeah, that's true.
This ain't a stepdad situation
No,
who you
but-
just hate. If I trade Rasheed Wallace and Rasheed Wallace in the middle of the year is a Piston and he wins a chip, do you
We
know
got to get
Rasheed
a
was
fire
my guy?
extinguisher
Yeah.
over here, man. Put
I
the
love it.
flames out.
I love it. You know what? I've got. Here's
Pump
the
it
crazy
up.
part, though, Rich. After hearing what James has said in his Category 5 glory,
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting a sinking feeling already, and it's not even opening day yet. I mean, what happens if this team all of a sudden starts off, like 1-20?
Oh, I know. They'll still do nothing.
You know what?
And
Hey,
then
look,
they'll do nothing. And then they'll do nothing. And then they'll do
Oh,
nothing.
man.
While James continues to talk about nothing, I have to do something, and it's go to a break. We'll be right back with more of the Sports Office.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. We're talking Red Wings.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, this team red hot, looking really good atop the Atlantic Division. So my question to you guys right now is, with the Olympic Games coming up, they're going to lose Larkin, Mo Sider, Lucas Raymond. Will that have a negative effect on the team? What do you think?
I would say so. I mean, these are some of their star players. How could it not? How could it not? I mean, granted, guys got to step up. They got to step up, but you take your big guns out of the, machinery, it has to affect it.
James Rich asked, how can you not? But how does Todd McClellan fit into this with his leadership, and perhaps maybe he can smooth all this out?
I can answer that and do what I was going to do.
That's why you're here, Cat 5. Go get him.
The winds keep blowing.
Woo!
It's Cat 5.
Conditions are right.
I'm gonna disagree with Rich a little bit.
Okay.
I don't think it's a problem because those three guys are going to be playing high-level hockey. While the rest of the team gets a good rest, Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond, and Mo Sider are playing against the nation's best, the world's best, and Todd McClellan can use that in his favor. The Olympic break is really weird because you have a bunch of guys who aren't playing, and then you have a bunch of guys who are playing 2-3 games a week.
Right.
But I don't think it's a negative because Larkin can play with USA's best teams, the best players on
the team.
Thank
Correct.
you. And then he can take that and bring it back to the Red Wings when the Olympic break is over.
Well, let's hope that translates into some more positives because we want to see the Red Wings continue on this march and not get into that March swoon where all of a sudden you got to go to Ottawa for 2 games and you lose them both. Hey, look, the sports office has got to come to a close. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. Rich Luderman.
Thank you.
Cat 5, James Paxton over here,
Cat
Tommy in the
5
Zoom
right
room.